I've got a beer question. How do you go about picking what beers you have?
Well, it's the way we go about picking out our beers. Basically, is whoever didn't piss me off that week is the beer that I'll buy. It's hard to get through a week without one of the liquor vendors not pissing you off thoroughly. Whether they ran out of something and didn't tell you, whether they sent the wrong product, whether they didn't send the product you ordered and they didn't tell you. It's just there's so much nonsense in the liquor industry, and I think they get away with it because they're so government regulated that there's nothing that you can do about it. There's no other way to turn. Fish guy sends me crap. I say, well, you're out, and I'll bring in another fish guy. Beer guy sends me the wrong thing or doesn't have it or screws me. I don't have anywhere else to turn. So what I do is, well, I'm not going to order your product this week, and I'll order a product from someone else. That's one way of how we go about it. Also, you go by customer feedback a lot. If one person happened to like Stella and you don't have it on anymore, well, it could have been because 20 other people said that they wanted to see whatever, Red Seal on tap. So we did that, and then of course you're going to get everyone, oh, where's the Stella? You want to change things up, you don't want to get boring. You go to most, pubs that you go to, you're going to get the same standard beers, and if you go in today and if you go in 5 years from today, they're going to have those same 5 or 10 draft beers that you had when you walked in the first time. We don't want to be like that. We want people to come in, oh wow, look, they got this on tap today, or they got that on tap. You want to change it up. There's seasonal beers, so you try to be more seasonal. You don't want it to get boring. And what's going to set us apart from anyone else, and part of that is going to be that we're going to have different things all the time. When you walk in, you're not going to know what to expect. You'll have your standard things. You'll always have certain things that will be there, but there's also going to be changes that are always going on, and that keeps it interesting. I mean, that would keep me coming in. I want to see, I know that they're going to have maybe of our 5 beers on draft, there's going to be 3 of them that are going to be there standard, and then the other 2, hey, an opportunity to try new beers, different beers, and you're not going to find Bud on tap here. You're not going to find Miller Lite on tap. We try to keep it interesting. We try to keep it different. We try to run beers that you're not going to find everywhere. Our bottled beers and whatnot. We have approximately like 60 beers, so we're constantly trying to change that and to bring in. We're trying to do craft beers from all over the country, and so we're constantly trying to mix it up. We don't ever want it to get stale and boring and predictable. We want it to be different and give people a reason to come back and to keep coming back. Besides the fact that they just hopefully love the place, sometimes that's not going to keep them coming back. Yeah, they love the place, but they'll forget about you because you're forgettable. What's going to make you not forgettable is the fact that you change it all the time, and people are going to want to come in and see what you're doing now, what you're doing next. Even if it's one week to the next, that's what we constantly are trying to do with the food and the beer, the wine, the liquor. We're constantly running liquor specials. That's why we brought in the Knot whiskey. No one's carrying it around here, and it's an awesome whiskey. And so we brought that in. We're running it as a special. That's our house whiskey right now. And we brought in McSorley's on tap, and we're running it at $2 a draft. Why? Well, because no one's running McSorley's. You can get your $2 Buds down the street. You can get your $2 Miller Lights down the street. But where are you going to get McSorley's? So we're running that for a while. We're switching that now over to a Pabst Blue Ribbon, which where the hell are you going to get PBR on tap? You're not going to find it. It's one of those beers that it's not in people's heads. They'll see it and oh man, PBR, give me one of those. But it's not one. It's not a Budweiser, and that's what we're trying to stay away from. Boring and predictable. We're just trying to keep it interesting. There you go. And by the way, we will have Stella back on the menu. Probably by this weekend. It's sitting in my cooler right now.
And the Victory Prima Pils, that's exempt from your rotation, right?
No, actually, let's see. Well, it'll probably be on for a little bit. McSorley's is going to change, Anchor Steam will change, and Red Seal will change for now. Because the guy behind the camera wants Victory Prima Pils, we'll keep Victory Prima Pils on for a while, but we'll see. Right now, it's a hot beer, so and people really enjoy it. You don't want to take things off that people want, but it's the things that people, they were surprised to see it, they tried it, it runs its course, and you bring in the next thing. the ones that people do want that are standards, you try to keep those. You want to make people happy, but you also want to keep it mixed up. But you make it be known that certain things will change, and people like that, I think.